So inshallah we're going to start. So we'll do ayat number 120 of Surah Al-Baqarah. Part of the ayat we have done before, so the remaining half of the ayah 120. So we're doing a simple translation first. The part that we have done before is about the two angels, Harut and Marut, who were among the people of Babylon, and people used to learn magic from them and cause a separation between husband and wife. So this ayat is a continuation of that statement. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says here, A'udhu-billahi minash-shaytanir-rajim, Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim, وَمَا هُمْ بِضَارِّينَ بِهِ, and they were not causing the harm with this magic. Even though they were learning the magic and they were causing the problem, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that it was not them who were causing min ahadin to anyone illa bi-idhnillah, except by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if a difficulty came upon the people for any reason, it is actually by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even though the means could be something else. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ, and they would learn, مَا يَدُرُّهُمْ, that which will harm them. So they were learning this magic that was a harmful thing to the people. وَلَا يَنْفَعُهُمْ, and it was not benefiting to them. Nafa, يَنْفَعُهُمْ. Okay. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَقَدْ عَلِمُوا, and indeed they knew, the people who were learning the magic and that knowledge, they knew, لَمَنِ اشْتَرَاهُ, whosoever purchases, مَا لَهُ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنْ خَلَاقٍ, there is no portion for him in the hereafter. In the akhirat, there is no share or no benefit for that person in the hereafter. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Wala bi'isa, and it is evil, indeed evil thing, bad thing, ma sharau bihi, that which they sold anfusahum, their own selves. Law kanu ya'alamun, only if they knew that what the harm they were causing by getting into the magic. Okay. So this is the general breakdown of the meaning of the ayat. So we'll go back inshallah from the beginning. The ayat starts from wama hum. So wa means and ma means not here, and hum means they. So they not, or they were not. Okay? And they here are those people who were learning the magic from the shayateen and also from these two angels. Okay? So this home is pointing to them. Those people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about them. Then the next word is bidarina. So that starts with these letters, Dod, Ra and Ra. And the meaning of these letters are to harm. To harm someone. Okay? Dod, Ra and Ra. Okay? And Darun is a person who causes harm. Darun is a person who causes harm. Person who causes harm. A person who is harmful for others. That's called Darun. Okay? And its plural is Daruna. Daruna means those who cause harm. Daruna were those people who were learning the magic and then they were causing a harm to the people, the husband and wife, and causing a separation between them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling them Daruna, those people who cause harm or harmful for the people. Okay. And B, we can translate it off. B means off. Okay. And B is a harf jar, so when it comes before this word, it changes the sound of this waw into a ya. So the word becomes bidarina. The meaning is of those who cause harm. Okay. In this tajweed, sound changes from daruna to darina because of this B here. Meaning does not change. Okay. And bihi means with it. And it is the magic. Okay. So it is pointing to the magic. So the meaning will be, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا هُمْ بِضَارِّينَ بِهِ. It was not them who were causing the harm with the magic. They were doing the magic, but the harm was not coming from them. Because harm comes and benefit comes by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they were being the means of doing this wrong thing, but harm comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So even though people try to harm each other or cause difficulty for others, the difficulty comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Solution comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. People become the means and the reason for doing that, and they are punished accordingly, but nothing comes upon people except by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? So that is what this ayat is trying to explain, that if someone is harming you, the harm is actually coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and its solution will come from Allah. Its resolution will come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is that someone is being the reason or the means, and they are being tested by that. Okay? So this is what it is. وَمَا هُمْ بِضَارِّينَ. Those who cause harm. Min ahadin. Okay. Ahadun is one. Min ahadin is to anyone. So they were not causing any harm to anyone. Okay. Min ahadin, to anyone. Okay. And the next three words actually explain illa bi-idhnillah. Okay. So illa means except. Illa means except. And these letters, alif, dal and noon, this means to permit. Id, alif, dal and noon means to permit something, to allow something, to give permission to something. Okay? And the noun from this is idhnun. Idhnun means permission. Idhn Biiznillah or Iznun is the word, noun, which means permission. And next word is Allahu. So now we have two nouns here. One is idhnun, which means permission, and the other noun is Allah. Okay? And they have two meanings, permission and Allah. So if we want to combine these two, we can say permission of Allah. Permission of Allah. So in English, we put off there. In Arabic, we make two changes. These two dhamma becomes one, and this dhamma becomes kasra. So the final word becomes idhnullah. Idhnullahi. Okay. You change one dhamma and you make this kasra and then you combine. So it will be idhnullahi. That means permission of Allah. So that's what this word is, permission of Allah. Okay, that means permission of Allah. Okay. And then we put a B in the beginning here. B. B means by or with. Okay. And B here is a harf jar. It will change this dhamma into a kasra. Okay. So the word becomes biiznillah. Biiznillah means by the permission of Allah. So that is the word. So the meaning will be those people who were trying to harm or cause the harm, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that they are not causing the harm by this magic to anyone except by the permission of Allah. So even though if they are doing the magic, if Allah's permission is not there, nothing will happen. And if Allah's permission is there, then people will be harmed. Okay? So that is what the ayat says. Okay? So illa means except. By permission of Allah. وَمَا هُمْ بِضَارِّينَ بِهِ مِنْ أَحَدٍ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. Okay. So people who were trying to attempt the magic on the other people, if Allah's permission was there, then people will be suffering.
So why?
Allah is testing everybody. If the hardship comes, if the difficulty comes, it's a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay?
So is that fair?
What's that?
Is that fair?
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests all of us. He created human being for testing.
For testing.
For testing.
For testing.
Yeah? Testing means how good we do. When good things come, we are being tested. When difficulty comes, we are being tested. It is not only when the hard time comes, we are being tested. Even when the good time comes, we are being tested because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives wealth to people to test. How do they spend? If they spend in the wrong things, or they spend in the right things. That's a test for them. And most of the people fail that test. Okay? So when poverty comes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing how people react. Okay? So in the good things and the bad things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it clear in the Quran that we will test you. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ, we will test you. بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ, with those things which are fear and with the hunger and the loss in the life and the loss in the things. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us and sent here in this world for testing how do we do. Okay? So here one test is coming upon the people through the magic. Okay? But harm and the benefit will not happen until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has permitted. Okay? So this is what this ayat explains that. Okay? So then ayat continues, وَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ. Okay, so let's look at those words. Okay. So the next word is an, lam and mim. This means to know. Okay. And these are three words. Pa, be, fa, ala, three letters. Okay. And if we add a ta in the beginning and a shadda on ayn, tafa'ala, it will be ta'allama. Ta'allama means to learn. Ta'aleem is from the same word, learning, knowledge. So ta'allama means to learn. Okay? So the word wa means and here, and yata'allamuna is from this word, and this means they would learn. People would learn from these angels and from the shayateen something. And they would learn. Okay. Or they were learning. And they were learning. The people were learning. And the next few words explain what is that they were learning. The first word is ma. Ma means that or that which. Ma means that which. Okay. So they were learning something. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is explaining what is that they were learning. Okay. Then the word again is, we just saw dad, ra and ra, means to harm. Okay. And if we put a ya in the beginning, this will become yadurro. Yadurro means it harms. Present tense. It harms. Yadurru, and whom means them. Okay. So ma yadurruhum, that which will harm them, harm the pupil. So they were learning a knowledge which was harmful for the people. Okay. وَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ, and those people were learning Ma means that, yadurruhum, that was harmful, that will cause harm to the people. Okay? So that kind of knowledge which is not beneficial but harmful for the people, they were learning that knowledge. Ma yadurruhum, that will harm, ma, that which is already there, will harm them. Them means other people. Some people were learning a knowledge which was harmful to some other people. Ma yadurruhum, that which was harming them, means other people. Okay. And then the next word is just the opposite of that. Nafa'a means to benefit. Noon, fa and ain is the opposite of this one, to benefit, to harm and to benefit. Okay. And the same thing, if you put a ya in the beginning, it will become it benefits, present tense. So, yan fa'u, ya in the beginning, means it benefits. When you put a ya in the beginning, it becomes present tense, third person. It harms or it benefits. Them, whom means them, okay. So the word becomes yanfa'uhum, benefits them. Yadurruhum, harms them. Yanfa'uhum, benefits them. The opposite of each other. Okay? Which is the word is in the Quran. Yanfa'uhum, benefits them. Okay. But before this there is the word la. La means not. Wala means and not. So the meaning is that they were learning the knowledge that will harm the people, them, and will not benefit them. It's the same thing of saying that twice. It is harming them and it's not benefiting them. Okay? So these people will learn that kind of knowledge from those two angels and from shayateen, and using that knowledge, they were causing harm to the people, not benefiting the people. Okay? So that's what the meaning is. Wala yanfa'uhum. Okay? So this is what was going on in that society at that time, that people would learn some knowledge and they will create problems for other people. Instead of with the knowledge, with the good knowledge, benefiting people, being beneficial, they are being harmful to the people. Okay? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that these people who were doing this action, magicians you can call them, or people who are learning magic and being harmful to the other people, they knew something. What they knew? That they are doing this wrong. But they were still doing it. And by doing that, in the hereafter, they will not have any benefit for themselves. No share for them, good things in the hereafter for them. So that is the next part of the ayah says. So this ayah starts, وَلَقَدْ عَلِمُوا. So let's look at that. wa, la, and qad is the word. Wa means and la means surely. And qad also means surely. So twice the same thing. But qad is used when something of the past tense is being talked about. Okay. So the next word is ayn, lam, and mim. This means to know. And word is alimu is from this. Alimu means they knew. Past tense. They knew. Alama means he knew, and plural is alimu, they knew. So the meaning will be walaqad alimu, and surely they knew. These people who were doing the magic and causing the harm, they knew something. Okay? And surely they knew. The next word is la and man. Okay. La, ma, nish. Separately it is la and man. And la we just saw means surely again or indeed. Okay. And man means whoever.